Institute of Law, and today we'll be interviewing Gurnoor Singh Sandhu. Gurnoor is a very prominent mooter in our college, and he's brought many laurels to our college, and henceforth we fetched him for his expert opinion on about mooting. So Gurnoor, is mooting, do you like mooting?
I love it.
Is it your favorite part of the law school?
Yeah, I think that's the only interesting part except for the studies that I wish to be in.
So what appeals you the most about it?
Well, for me, my motivating force to take up mooting was the fact that I want to end up doing litigation at the end of my degree. So, and litigation is more or less about how you argue in the court.
Okay.
And the nearest experience to arguing in the court could have been through moots. So, yes, that's why I took up mooting.
So yours is because of litigation, but how do you think for any student, how much does it value a moot?
For any other student, I would say that firstly starting with the very idea of research. So it teaches you how to research, and especially legal research in particular. Then a student cannot go and argue in the court. So mooting gives you an opportunity to argue and face what lawyers and the litigators, it prepares you for the actual scenario which you might come across after finishing your degree once you start your practice, or maybe any other sort of argument which you may have to make. So therefore, yes, it helps a lot to give you an insight into the legal profession.
That's great. And how many moots have you done so far?
Well, technically I've done 5 moots.
By the third semester?
By the fifth semester.
That's great.
Yes, and out of that, I'll name. Firstly, yes, the first one was the novices moot court competition, which I think every student has to take part in our college. And then I took part in the Amity National Moot Court competition held at Delhi. Then I took part in the Surana Trial Advocacy moot court competition.
Which you won?
Yeah, which we
and you were the best
by
speaker.
God's grace, we won, and I was the best speaker as well. And then we took part in the second Dhwani Minocha moot court competition in Patiala. And then recently I took part in the SVKM's Praveen Gandhi's National Round of Advocacy.
That's great. So
we made it to quarterfinals in that.
Oh, that's even more great. So which one, let's talk about the Surana moot. So tell us more about it. How was your experience?
The very reason why I took up Surana and Surana moot was my interests in criminal law. I just love criminal law. I study. If I'm studying anything extra apart from my course, that has to be something related to criminal law. So yes, Surana and Surana was the moot which could have given me the closest interaction with the day-to-day workings of the court and the trial courts, especially because it's a trial court moot court competition. Yeah, it's a trial advocacy. So yes, and by God's grace, I had interned at the trial courts before taking up this moot, so that also helped me a lot.
Oh, okay.
And one of the reasons for me performing well and ultimately getting the trophy back to our college was the reason that I interned in the courts and I knew how actually the trial takes place. So I knew all the practical nitty-gritties of the entire thing. So yeah, maybe that's why. And my passion for criminal law.
That's great. So tell us one most memorable experience apart from this.
Apart from this, in Surana?
No, like all your mooting experience. Something that you didn't expect that would happen.
Okay. So this is an interesting thing. This is not from a national moot court competition actually, because once you take up a national moot court competition, you're very serious about it, and you are very, you're very articulate about whatever you are saying. So, but this was the opposite during my novices moot court competition. So I remember most of the mooters would know that we have to cite the prayer towards the end of the arguments. So in my novices moot court competition, I cited the prayer and I jumbled 2 sentences, rather 2 words. So what I stated was that facts cited. Rather it has to be authorities cited and not facts cited. So the honorable bench pointed out that counsel, your case is yet upon hearing, and how can you say that the facts are cited? So I went up and said that, Your Honor, if the bench is satisfied with the arguments put forth today by the counsel, the case might as well become a landmark judgment and the facts then will be cited. So that was a very, light moment.
So there was a moment, a quick quit then?
No, actually that was a light moment where the bench also had a laugh. But then I was corrected, and I remember the judge saying that, and I quote, counsel don't take the court in a lighter mood. So yes, and these things happen. Otherwise, in all other moods, it was a serious affair. So there's nothing as such which I remember. Yeah, there's another incident which took place in the Surana and Surana Trial Advocacy. The nature of the competition is such that we have to brief witnesses. We have to brief witnesses, and then upon our briefing, they depose in the court. So there was a medical witness which we had to prepare, and in that case, there was a particular medicine in which the doctor had to cite the salt. He had to mention the exact salt. And the witness, as they are all, they are students who are just brought in for the competition. So he was not able to pronounce the word properly and not even able to remember the word. So I just told him, I said, you are the doctor. See, whatever you say in the court becomes binding. You just say salt X.
Okay.
So that's what he did. And the moment he did that in the court, and other team, they raised an objection. So the court said that, see, he is the doctor, the lawyer who raised an objection was not the doctor. So the court said he is the doctor. If he is saying salt X, how can you say it's not that? So those lighter moments which took place during the Surana and Surana. Otherwise, everything was.
It's not an all-time affair.
Yeah,
all serious. So, what are your tips, or you think that there's some common mistake that a lot of people do and they don't realize?
Okay, see, mooting in general is a teamwork. It's a team affair.
Yes.
So what you have to make sure is that all 3 or 4 teammates which you choose or which you are working with, they should coordinate well. It's very difficult if there is a very poor or a low level of coordination between all 4 or all 3 team members. Then it becomes very difficult for the team to go one way, because ultimately it's not an individual team, it's a teamwork. And secondly, I would say that focus on your research. Yes, because there is a time when, see, you may make it to quarterfinals on basis of how you speak.
Okay.
But if you're lacking on research, then you can't make it ahead.
Somewhere it will come.
And research, I'd like to break up the two words, the word research, and search. So it's just searching again and again, so there is no end to it, right?
Yeah.
So there should be absolutely no, nothing should be left when it comes to research. That's very important. And secondly, you should practice a lot.
Yeah.
You should practice a lot. Take anybody, make them sit, argue, and that will help.
The more you do, the better.
That will help improve your arguments, and then ultimately, once you go and argue in the competition, it gives a very good effect because you've already practiced that, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, I think a conclusive advice to anybody who wishes to take up mooting is hard work. If you don't work hard, you can't do it.
So, before we end, there's a very special question.
Right.
And I was seeing your Facebook profile, and I got to know that you know the singer Dhanjal. So, how do you know him? And
Alright.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
Okay, so he is basically one of my very close friends.
How long have you known him?
My friend, I know him since a long time, like 7-8 years.
Oh, that's great.
So Diljit is very close to him.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember we often go for his shootings, and also this picture that you're talking about is from his shoot for the movie Sardarji 2, which took place in periphery of Chandigarh. There's a place called Ropar. Yeah, it's like 45 minutes away from Chandigarh. So the shoot was taking place over there. So that picture is from his shoot back there in Ropar. So I know him through my friend.
So it was great having you here.
Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, this was Gurnoor Singh Sandhu from Army Institute of Law, our Chief Mooter and Laurel Brigade. Thank you.